What's good, YouTube? SlenderRevolutionX here, coming to you guys today with my first place World Chalice deck profile that I got at Locals this week. The deck performed really well. I do have some combo tutorials around on my channel if you guys are interested in learning the things that the deck does. Basically, it can make crazy boards way better than like the traditional Orcust deck can. Basically, you can go through every combo there, plus a few other pretty interesting interactions that it can build. But without further ado, guys, let's dive right in. Alrighty, guys, so let's go ahead and we'll just start off with the monsters for now. We got the World Chalice lineup, which is your 3 Lee. Basic searcher of the deck, we have the 3 World Legacy World Chalice. This card allows you to special summon the 2 extra World Chalice monsters when you link it off. So super nice, allows you to extend your plays. I then have 3 Chosen of the World Chalice, level 3 normal monster, pretty self-explanatory, nothing crazy there. Then I have the 3 Venus and the 3 Shine Ball. Basic combo starter. A lot of times if you open up this and the World Chalice, it's basically full board. Saw this a lot today, definitely saw these a lot today. Something that I like about this deck that's not standard for any kind of Venus core is the Shine Balls themselves aren't like super dead in your hand. You can still make a lot of plays if you open up the Shine Ball. It still allows you to access a lot of different combos. So really like that. Then we've got the Orcus. We have the 3 Harp Horror. Saw this a few times. Basically your combo starter for Orcus. Then we have the 2 Nightmare and the 1 Simple Skeleton and the 1 Wand. All have their own purpose and everything. Pretty standard Orcus lineup. Then you have your 1-of monsters, the last 2 World Chalice monsters. Guard Dragon is really crucial in this deck. You do a lot of things with this card. Basically, if you can't go into Ib through the Lee and the Chosen, this is your other ally until Lee. On to spells, we've got the 3 Unexpected Die, just a super good starter card. A lot of people really don't ash this, which is kind of surprising because it's just a free special summon monster on the board. A lot of people don't know exactly what you're playing when you start off with this, so they tend to let it go through, but this card is really crucial, does a lot for you at the early game. Then I have 3 Call by the Grave because you need your combos to go through, need to prevent hand traps. This negated a lot of ashes while I was at Locals this week. Then you have your 1-of spells. I have the 1-of Babel, pretty self-explanatory there. The 1-of World Legacy Succession, searchable by Ib, which is pretty good in itself. The 1 Transmodify. This is one card that I would change out of the deck. I think I'm going to replace this for the 2nd Crescendo, just because Crescendo is more impactful from this, and this just like is a win more card, allows you to extend your combos further. The 1 Emergency Teleport for that free summon. The 1 Monster Reborn. And the 1 Foolish Burial, which is also an extender in the deck. Sending Wand with this is really, really strong. And then we got the traps. I have 2 Phantom Nightshade Brigandine, more free monsters, a lot of normal monsters in the deck. This just is another free summon. And then we have the 1 Crescendo and the 1 World Legacy Sorrow. If you open this and end up being able to search the Babel, it's really strong. And this is searchable off Ib as well. This is what I usually search from the get-go off of Ib. That's it for the main deck, guys. For the extra deck, I have the Link ones is the Mermaid, the Imduk, and the Link Spider. All of which kind of have their own roles. Went into all 3 of these throughout the Locals. Obviously, you're going into Mermaid for your Nightmare play or for your Orcust plays, but these 2 serve their purpose as well. Imduk is actually really strong in itself. The Link 2s, obviously, triple Galtab. There was a game where I did end up going into all 3. I think 3 is almost necessary because you're not winning early as much as you are with Orcust anymore because you don't have the Shade Brigandine, or not the Shade Brigandine, because you don't have the Rusty Bardiche. So being able to grind through and use this more often is pretty strong. Then you have your 2 Nightmare monsters. Went into both of them at any point. They just good spot removal when you're ally to Mermaid. The last Link 2 is my Arm. Arm actually put in a lot of work. This is like your out to Inspector border, which I did a couple times today. It's just really strong. Gets that boost from Guys Engrave, and it's pretty simple to go, pretty easy to go into him. So then you have your Link 3s, the Decode Talker, which is your replacement for Bardiche. This was really, really strong this weekend. It did a lot of work for me. You know, it not only the attack boost, but its effect to prevent targeting is really strong as well. Then I have the One Long Girsu. Went into this a couple times. Never actually used its effect, but in theory, it's really good. This is just like if you can go all out, this is like the card you want. One of the cards you want to end up on. And the one card I actually didn't go into it this weekend was the Borlo Dragon. Just never really had necessity to go into this. You know, everything was kind of operated. Never had to, steal any monsters with it or anything. In theory, it's like good against like Avermax or to get the Colossus, Steel Colossus, things like that. Just a good generic Link 4. The Synchro Monsters, Ib, MVP, Borlode Savage, kind of like the card you go into after you go into Ib. Both obviously really, really strong. And last but not least, the one Dingirsu. Contemplated bumping this up to 2, but extra deck space is really tight as it is. And you recycle this card so much that it's not super necessary. And then the side deck that I played this weekend, I had the 3 Artifact Lancia. I was expecting to see a couple Orcust players this weekend. I saw one. Kind of sided in against him, but that was just in like a casual game. In theory, it just shuts down the Orcust deck. Never saw it, so I mean, I don't know how super impactful it would have been. Then I have the 2 Twin Twisters. Good against Draco, good against Frogs, good against Orcust, good against a lot of decks, good against Striker. Does a lot for you. The traps I had triple evenly matched. I saw this like 9 times out of 10 that I sided in. This card was incredible all weekend. It did a lot of work for me. People that are like choosing to not play this card, I really don't understand why. Like, it can be such a blowout. The 3 Eradicator was the MVP of the side deck this weekend. Just Striker players lose to this. The True Draco player loses to this. Like, this card is probably the best card in the side deck, in my opinion. And it's so easy to access with the Orcust monsters. So, that was that. The 2 Red Reboot, I sided this in, but never saw it. This is one card that I would like to change in the deck. It just doesn't do as much for me as I want it to. It's either like, and I see it as either like a 3 or none card. Like 2 is like meh. It's either like I want to either do 3 of this and no Twin Twister, or 3 Twin Twister and no of this. It's kind of like how I feel. And last but not least is the 2 Anti-Spell. There's a lot of Pendulum at my locals, so I wanted to be able to counteract that. This side deck was kind of tailored for what I thought I might see. But, I decided this in a couple times, never saw it. But in theory, like, it shuts down the Pendulum deck. Which, if they go first, they're going to put a massive board. If you get to go first and open this, like, it pretty much is an auto win against the Pendulum deck. But yeah, guys, that's the full deck. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, leave them in the comment section below. I'm always here to answer your guys' questions, so if you have any concerns on the deck or want to know anything about the deck, let me know. And as always, guys, remember to subscribe to join the revolution today. This is SlenderRevolutionX signing out, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.